Hi everybody, this is Zombi and welcome to another one of my dungeon boss videos. Grog-Gnog is the latest hero available to us in Dungeon Boss, and he's currently part of the Winterfest event, which is really enjoying this Christmas period and also into the new year. I'm sure that there'll be many other ways to unlock him in the future, but right now the only way to do it is by using those keys in these doors for the calendar. Using a bronze or silver or gold, you get different amounts of tokens. As I've unlocked Grog-Gnog last night, I thought I'd now get a quick review done on him. I contacted one of our guys in Level Capped, Crabola, who's been using him for several days now quite intensively to give me a few hints and tips. And so it's those things that I want to share with you guys right now, plus some of my own experiences with the hero so far. And for his Dissensions, we've got this one as his first one. Made sure I recorded these for you guys this time so you could see properly. There we go, give that little head a cuddle. Bit of a disconcerting little head that is, it worries me a bit. And then lots of more evos for his second. There you go, fully ascended. Hopefully that's of use. Moving on to traits then really quickly. First up we've got Insulated Woolies. Good name. Cannot be frozen, chilled or frostbitten. Now the most useful bit about that is the frozen, of course, particularly in PvP. If you're up against the likes of High King Valkin or Igorok, then they don't stand a chance of neutralising Grog-Gnog, which is really quite useful from what I've found so far. Second one, 2 heads are better than 1. So basic attacks rampage hitting a second target at random. It's really, really strong. Particularly in PvE when you're doing autoruns with the Beast team. I'll talk more about teams and synergies later, but really good. Second one, magical, we've all seen that before, taking less damage from non-physical attacks. And then his last one, large and in charge, increased health for each beast ally by 30% and attack for each ogre ally by 30% as well. So I'll talk more about synergies and stuff later on, but that is really, really useful, particularly for those beasts. For his abilities then, first off we've got Rampaging Swing, as I've just mentioned, and that is 2 attacks for the price of 1, very useful. Next big attack is Strike, so melee water attack on all enemies, reducing speed and crit, so that's quite useful. Reduces speed of heroes just like Bovis does, and reduces the chance that they'll actually get a crit in. Not bad, does a decent amount of damage, and I've been using that a lot in PvP. Snow Day, now this is an interesting one. Ranged water attack on all enemies and creates a Snow Day that buffs defense and may also be consumed to modify special abilities. Starts powered. Now what that means is that when you cast this, all of your allies get that defensive buff, but when you move on to another ally, another guy in your team, you'll notice that one of their attacks, I think it's their first main attack that they'll get, like you'll see in some videos in a moment, that they then get an extra ability added onto that, and if they use that ability then it will burn that defensive buff, that will no longer be on them, but they will get the special effect that they had that Snow Day gave to that ability. So let's take a quick look at some footage and I'll explain exactly what I mean. So Grog-Gnog casts this, everyone gets the buff, it also does a lot of extra damage. This is Babel Mountain on Boss Island. Wiped out the entire floor there, and then you can see here Torchy has got this extra splash damage now on his Bat Out of Hell, so the defenders will take extra damage. Very useful. But not only do Grog-Gnog's allies get it, but also he gets it onto his abilities, as you can see. So it does a few extra useful bits and pieces here. And it'll be really interesting finding out what these extra abilities are for each of the different heroes that team up with Grog-Gnog. And in fact there's a forum thread that lists these out and they're starting to collate this. I'll try and link those in the comments section below. And then for his final ability, Frost Breath. Ranged water attack on an enemy with a chance to apply frostbite. So nothing particularly fantastic or special there. However, you can see that that does a huge amount of damage compared to the other 2 attacks. We'll take a quick look at runes, although I'm not going to labour the point on this because either Starscream or I will do a hero rune guide on Grog-Gnog at some point in the future. But my advice is coming from Crabola on this one, so he said to go with 1 defensive rune and then 3 attacky type runes there. And at the moment, yeah, it seems to be doing really well actually. While we watch him in action, just want to go over a few final points. So the PvE Beast team is absolutely ridiculously strong. Torchy, Grog-Gnog, Bovis and Pigneus. The benefits that the beasts give each other are really good from their passives. I've been auto-running it on Babel Island, and they just cruise through it. They just go through it so easily. And thanks to Pigneus, if Hogwild attack triggers during one of Grog-Gnog's basic attacks, he ends up with 4 of those attacks, so it can be really powerful. If you pair him up with Kozar, then Kozar gets an extra 30% attack, which makes him even more absurdly ridiculous when it comes to doing damage. And that comes from the Grog-Gnog's largely in charge ability. Grog-Gnog also gets that 15% health from Kozar from his passive Goblin Alliance 3. And for PvP, the pairing of Zen and Grog-Gnog seems like an obvious one, and it is incredibly powerful. You can bring along other heroes such as Grog-Gnog or Bovus, and they'll give various passive boosts to health and so on. But do beware of Kai, he does kind of neutralise Grog-Gnog quite a bit. In summary then, I really quite like this new hero, Grog-Gnog. I think he's very strong and he's worth spending some time and resources on. Only time will tell how we use him and what combinations we manage to dream up between us all. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with, and obviously I'll share what the level cap guys and I come out with too. That's all for now, guys. Please do leave comments, questions or suggestions in the comments section below. I'll always try to answer. Remember to check out the rest of my YouTube channel for more Dungeon Boss videos, or search Zombie Dungeon Boss in Google or YouTube for more. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.